This is Shelley Kraft. We're coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the BioPharm America 2011 conference, and we're in Boston, Mass. I'm here with Harry Glorikian of Scientia Advisors. It's a private company. They are consultants, and Harry is a featured speaker not only here but at many other events in the biotech world. Welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you very much for having me.
Let's get into your specific exactly what you follow. So I want to ask you a lot of questions, but I want to hear first where I should take it.
We work in a lot of different areas. We work in pharmaceuticals as well as diagnostics. So two of the topics that I'll be covering today at BioPharma are personalized medicine and how certain technologies like sequencing will have an impact on clinical decisions and therefore therapeutic follow-up for patients.
Personalized medicine is, I love the area. I know it's up and coming. Tell me certain things about it that I need to know.
Well, personalized medicine is a broad term, but in reality, one of the things that we'll be talking about is how do pharmaceutical companies and diagnostic companies actually get into deals together? What do they need to think about? What are the pitfalls? What are the benefits? How do they take a product from the beginning of an idea of using a diagnostic with a therapeutic all the way through the system and actually like each other when the whole thing is over? There's a lot of impact. You wanted to know about some of the things that are happening. The trends in the industry are therapeutics in the future probably won't be prescribed in certain institutions without a diagnostic or a biomarker being associated with it so that we know which patient the product works on and which patient the product does not work on.
I see all the ramifications from healthcare payment structure to, a varying amounts of interest that different kinds of businesses would have as an outshoot of that particular concept. Tell me more about how a patient is going to be treated personally. Like, how does from their DNA, genetically, is that something that you'd like to speak to?
Well, we know that it's happening now. People think that it's something that will happen in the future, but you actually are reading articles that are written where either the physician orders a sequencing run to be run and therefore makes a clinical decision based on that, but we're also seeing where patients are actually actively going out and having sequence information run on themselves, taking it to their physician, and then having a different therapeutic procedure done on them than would be done normally. Actually, there was one written up recently where the patient came in with their DNA information, and under normal circumstances they would have been intubated with a particular therapeutic being used, and because of their genomic sequence saying that they didn't metabolize that therapeutic well, their treatment paradigm was changed and they were sedated in a completely different method. And that was all based on the personalized medicine genomic information that the patient brought to the physician. So we can see how this is starting to change as it's going forward. Hospitals are building health IT systems that are actually will inhibit a physician from prescribing a particular medication that they may be used to based on the genomic information that comes from the sequencing run or the diagnostic system that was run that's now put into the health IT system. It drives the downstream decision. So physicians aren't going to just be able to make any decision they want to make as it goes forward. They're going to have to make the most effective / cost-effective decision as they go forward.
And of course, as the growth of electronic medical records are increasing, that information is going to be much more readily available.
Oh yes, absolutely. Actually, the Recovery Act that was put into place right when Obama took office had a major portion of it for EMR and health IT to be funded by the government to get it to spur and go forward. And what we're finding is that is causing a network effect to take effect. In other words, if everybody has it, then putting something out into the ether and having it distributed much more easily becomes much more effective. Like now everybody has an iPod and an iPad. You put out an app, everybody can now download that app and start to use it. And that's the same effect that we're starting to see in our world.
I'm with you. I know that world is advancing very, very quickly. And I think it's to the benefit of the patient, which is really what it's all about.
Yeah, no, definitely. Patients are actually are able to take care of themselves as far as these apps are concerned, how they monitor themselves. But where I see the biggest effect is hospitals are now able to get a better handle on what works, what's cost effective, and based on that, they can now start to do deals where they'll go to particular companies and say, anybody that shows up with this marker or that marker, we will prescribe this drug because we know it works. Therefore, we want a better deal on particular bulk amounts that we're going to get from you. So it's empowering the hospital to make a better decision and for the hospital to deliver better care to the patient.
You heard it from Harry Glorikian, an expert in the field. What is your website?
www.scientiaadvisors.com.
I guarantee you, when this conversation is over, I want to check it out. You should also. Thank you so much for coming on to SNN Live.
Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure.